All right, let's jump right in. In this explainer, we're going to tackle something that a ton of Drupal developers need to do. Take a live site from a cloud host, in this case DrupalForge, and bring it down to your local machine using DDEV. We're going to go step by step.
So, picture this. You've got a site. It's live, it's working great out there in the cloud. But now you need to make some changes. You want to add a new feature, test an update, or just mess around without any fear of breaking the live site. How do you do that? Well, you pull it down to your own computer. And that's exactly what we're going to solve today.
So to get us started, let's just quickly look at the two environments we're working with. DrupalForge is amazing for getting a site up and running in the cloud, like fast. It's for launching. But DDEV is your local workshop. It's where you have all the tools and all the control you need to do serious, deep development work. Our goal is to bridge these two worlds.
Okay, let's get into it. Phase 1 is all about packing up. Before we can move, we have to gather all the essential pieces of your site from its current home on DrupalForge. Think of it like packing the boxes before you move houses.
First things first, you're going to log into your Drupal site on Forge. From there, you'll find the Backup and Migrate module. You're going to grab two really important things, a full backup of your database and a backup of all your public files. You know, images, documents, all that stuff. But wait, there's one more piece we can't forget.
Now this part is absolutely crucial. Seriously. Having the database and the files is great, but without the instructions on how to actually build the site, they're useless. That's what the composer.json file is. It's the blueprint. It lists every single module and dependency your site needs to function. You have to grab this file from your cloud environment.
And that's a wrap on Phase 1. At this point, you should have these 3 files sitting in your Downloads folder. This is your complete migration toolkit. It's literally everything you need to create a perfect clone of your live site.
Okay, we've got our assets packed up and ready to go. Now it's time to build their new home. In Phase 2, we're going to spin up a brand new, totally empty DDEV project right here on our local machine. This is going to be our new workshop. We'll start out on the command line. First up, just make a new folder for your project, call it whatever you want, and then immediately jump inside that directory. This fresh, empty folder is our blank canvas.
Next, we've got to tell DDEV what we're building. This one simple command points DDEV at our new folder and says, hey, we're building a Drupal site in here. DDEV now knows exactly what kind of server environment it needs to get ready for us.
With the configuration all set, let's fire it up. The DDEV start command is where the magic happens. It does all the heavy lifting, spinning up the web server, the database, everything we need. And just like that, your local server is officially up and running.
Now this might seem a little backwards, but we are not importing our old site just yet. First, we need to lay down a clean foundation. This command uses Composer to install a brand new, out-of-the-box version of Drupal. This makes sure all the core files are in the right place before we start bringing in our custom stuff.
All right, the moment of truth is getting close. We have the assets from our old site, and we have the foundation for our new site. Phase 3 is where we bring them together. But there is one sneaky little roadblock we have to deal with first to make sure this all works.
And here it is. This is the hidden trap that can trip you up in this whole process. Database incompatibility. See, the backup you got from Forge is a MySQL database. But DDEV, by default, uses something slightly different called MariaDB. If you just try to import your backup right now, it's going to give you an error. It's guaranteed to fail.
And I'm not exaggerating here. The source material is super clear about this. Skipping this next step isn't just a bad idea, it's a guaranteed failure. The process will just stop, error out, and you'll be left scratching your head. So what's the fix?
Thankfully, the solution is beautifully simple, and it's built right into DDEV. We don't have to do any complicated conversions ourselves. We just need to tell DDEV, hey, can you please switch your database type to match the file I have?
And this command right here, this is why DDEV is such an amazing tool. With this one line, DDEV will completely reconfigure itself, swapping out its default MariaDB for the exact version of MySQL that we need. It handles all that complexity behind the scenes. It's brilliant.
So, with that big database hurdle cleared, we're on the home stretch. We just have to run through this final sequence. First, take the composer.json file from your backup and use it to replace the default one in your new project. Then, run a Composer update to pull in all your site-specific modules. After that, enable the Backup and Migrate module on your new local site, and then use it to restore your database. And finally, restore your public files.
Okay, at this point, your site should be fully functional.
But there's one last little thing, a common visual quirk that almost always pops up after a migration like this. Let's do that last bit of polishing.
So you load up your brand new local site for the first time and something just looks a little off, right? Maybe the colors are wrong, the fonts are weird, the layout's all jumbled. Don't worry, this is totally expected.
Yeah, this isn't a real error, it's just a funny little quirk of the process. For some reason, the theme settings don't quite stick after the database import, and the fix is almost laughably easy. Just go to your theme settings page in the Drupal admin panel, don't change a single thing, and just hit Save Configuration. That's it. It forces Drupal to reapply all the styles correctly.
So let's just boil this whole thing down to the 3 most critical takeaways. Number 1, make sure you get your 3 key files from Forge, your database, your public files, and that all-important composer.json. 2, remember to run that single command to make DDEV's database compatible. And 3, if your theme looks funky, just resaving the config will almost certainly fix it.
And there you have it. You did it. Congratulations. You've successfully pulled down your live cloud site. You now have a perfect copy running safely and super fast right on your own machine, completely ready for you to get to work.
And that brings us to the end. You now have this powerful, risk-free sandbox at your fingertips. So the only question left to ask is, with this total freedom and complete local control, what incredible thing are you going to build next?